Hi, everybody. We're so excited for you to join us. We have Ben Hundreds on the podcast today. Listen, this episode was recorded before his restaurant, the Benjamin Hollywood, opened on Melrose and Formosa. But it is now open, okay? Just wanted to preface by saying that. It's now open. It wasn't open when we recorded. Enjoy, people. We love you.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Pastrami. I'm Alex Canter.
And I'm Lily Rosenthal. And today with us, we have an LA icon, Ben Hundreds.
You might know him from the Hundred store, which is down the street from here, one of the iconic streetwear brands of Fairfax.
Or the Family Style Food Festival here in LA, where he takes restaurants and streetwear brands and does incredible collabs at the festival. It's unbelievable. He's also the host of a food show on Hulu called
Big Appetite.
Yep.
One of my favorite food shows to watch.
Absolutely.
He's great. And he's honestly like just an iconic follow on Instagram. He's always
so true.
posting the best food wherever he's traveling. He's got his own 100 restaurant list that he puts out. And I think it's going to be a really fun, foodie forward episode, Billy.
100%. Ben Hundreds, everybody.
What's up, Ben? We're so excited to have you today. Thank you for joining us at our favorite booth in Canter's Deli.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We both ran into you at different restaurants this week.
Where did you guys run into each other?
At APL. Adam Perry Lang does his weekend barbecue pop-ups.
I mean, that looks insane.
It was.
I haven't been yet.
It put me out.
Did it?
I needed a nap right after that. But
Man.
What was the best
phenomenal
bite on that platter that I saw on your lovely Instagram?
My platter, my favorite. It's such a cheat because they're his burnt ends and they're just like sweet, like little pieces of candy.
Yeah.
They are.
I want it.
They were so good. And then we ordered the lamb chops and
that lamb.
like I've never like
lights out lamb chops.
Like I don't even know where to tell you to get something like that.
My dad brought back a lamb chop for me and I had it the next day, like kind of cold.
Yeah.
It was still the best lamb chop I've ever had.
Yeah.
That's a crazy thing he's doing.
It was pretty funny though, because you were saying when we ran into each other that like we were going to be filming this in a few weeks, but it was like the next
just
day.
a few days.
Here we are. So, and you guys also ran into each other at Anajak.
Yeah, we were at Anajak together. Justin's doing incredible things.
It's a small world when you're a foodie. You just run into your friends at the same 10 or 20 restaurants all the time.
For sure. That's how it works. That's how I want it to always work.
I'm so excited to have you on the show today. There's so many things to talk about, from your festival to the TV
best
show to just how Fairfax. I mean, we're in the same shtetl here in this Jewish community of Fairfax.
Yeah.
It's not so Jewish anymore, but
you can still get a kippah down the street somewhere,
for
can't you?
Sure. Oh my God.
There's one or two of those like little antique Jewish Judaica stores left.
A couple of the kosher markets are still over here.
I think there's one or two kosher markets left.
Yeah, there's two. I think there's Sammy's is still
Sammy's
there.
is a classic.
And then across the street is, I don't even go to this one, so I don't even know what the name of it is, but I know it's
Western.
Yeah, Western.
Kosher,
it's also like a really big kosher market, right?
I still go to Sammy's just to get the beastly, which is like a little Israeli snack.
Oh my God, I used to love beastly. The pizza flavor.
Yeah.
Did you ever that one?
I get it for my kids.
Yeah.
I was a barbecue flavor fan.
Oh, classic. Yeah.
But they still sell it at Sammy's.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. I really want to get into Family Fest. How did that get started? That's one of my favorite festivals of all time.
Family Style got started because, we wanted to throw a festival.
Yeah.
And the original idea was Bobby and I, we wanted to throw a festival and we're going to throw a music festival. And at the time, this is now over 5 years ago, throwing a music festival, even now, it's really hard. And there's one every weekend and the acts are onto it and charge a lot of money. And if we wanted to do a music festival, it would have been fine, but I don't think it would have been that impactful. And it just would have been another music festival. And so we were brainstorming. We kept talking about doing a festival. What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? What's the story? And then the idea came up of doing a food festival. And we had met Miles, our third partner in the festival, and Miles, Bobby was friends with Miles, and was like, "Yo, this kid, he does the food for Complex Con. He's a big fan of ours. Like, I think he could help us out. He's done some other events." So we met Miles, and then we just started coming up with different ideas for how to make a food festival for us. because we've been to a lot of food festivals, and I don't like food festivals. They
It's
suck.
like catering usually.
It's
like
catering, but also
scale.
like
The lines are insane.
they're not fun. The music's bad. The branding is bad. It's like people that I would never want to hang out with all day at a festival. Like, it's just not fun.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to make a food festival. Really, it's a festival for us. And so we talked to a lot of restaurants and chefs, and like, what are the pain points? What do you guys like? What do you guys not like? How can we be better, different? And we came up with this idea of Family Style, where it's a festival of emerging fashion, food. Everybody wants merch. You know, I was saying this many years ago that restaurant merch was the new band merch.
So true. Could we talk about that for a second? Like the Uncle Paulie's hat phase, and just the
that was
amount
5-6 years ago now. And when you know, having a Jon and Vinny's shirt was like such a big deal, or
huge.
an Uncle Paulie's hat, or you know, and
this
then
is like a totally random side note, but like, do you guys know that Trader Joe's merch is like selling for like thousands of dollars in Asia right now? I just saw a TikTok about this, but like,
Wow.
people are coming to the US, buying vintage Trader Joe's, bringing it back to Asia, and selling it for like thousands of dollars.
Wild.
It's actually kinda
It makes
sick.
sense though. Like, restaurant merch is so cool. Like, when I am walking and I see someone with a Langer's hat, I'm like, oh, that guy, he fucks. He's cool. Yeah.
And so we wanted to build that, and we you know, when I would tell all the restaurants is like, the restaurants are our headliners, and our chefs are our headliners, and like, you're our you know, Lady Gaga for Coachella, you're the Kanye West, or whatever the hell it is. You're like the big, you're the headliners. We make you the priority, and we want to highlight you guys. We put everybody with a partner. We make merch. They make some cool food. We get like great DJs. We make it family friendly. We also make it friendly for people our age. I mean, you guys are younger than me, but people your age, my age. Like, I tell people all the time, my favorite thing about Family Style is that, you know, my kids are a little bit older, but when we started, they were, you know, 5, 6, 7 years old. Like, they could come and have a great time because we have a great kids section. Then we have, for the teenagers, they want to come and buy cool merch.
Yeah.
And so they're waiting in line all day trying to get like the best clothes. And also, like, their favorite brand owners are walking around and they get to see them. They're like celebrities to them. And then the 20-year-olds that are like usually too cool for school and don't want, like, they hate everything. Like, they're cooking, their friends are DJing, they're hanging out, smoking weed, just chilling for the day.
Right.
And then like the people that are in like their 30s and 40s, like, they come there with their kids, their family, with their friends. They want to eat, and they're eating at restaurants that they want to eat at, and maybe they don't get to all the time, and they're hanging out with their friends all
under
day.
one roof.
Yeah. And then like, you have like my mother-in-law comes, and like, she's hanging out all day because her grandkids are having a good time, but she's also like, this is fun, and she has like, it's like something for everyone at all ages to come and hang out. And so,
so cool.
it's really I love it there. It's my favorite day of the year, and I'm really proud of what we've built there.
For people listening that have not been to Family Style Fest, Family Style brings restaurants and streetwear brands together, right?
We bring restaurants from LA, and then a handful from around the world, and then we partner them with whether it's a brand, an artist, a designer, or a license. You know, we've done people like, we've had artists like Kenny Sharf and Mr. Cartoon. We've worked with brands like Off-White and Girls Don't Cry. And we've worked with designers like Sean Weatherspoon and Tom Bogo.
How do you pick which restaurant, which brand, and what
really
goes
hard.
together?
It's really hard. It's really, really hard. We talk to both sides.
Yeah.
You know, we'll talk to the brand or the artist designer, like, what do they like? We'll talk to the restaurants or the chefs. What do they like?
A cultural screen.
Yeah, I really do. And then we put them together, and sometimes, look, it doesn't work, and we got to find another mix. And a lot of the times, you know, everyone's just kind of cool. Like, I'm down to mix.
Excited to be there. Yeah.
Well,
that's great.
Yeah.
It's, first of all, this is like such a like, I love what you're doing, and it's so LA to bring together like fashion and food and all these things that like LA does well. But I love what you said about your lineup of chefs is your headliners and your art. First of all, for me, growing up in Canters, I've met a lot of musicians and celebrities and actors and presidents, all these people. And like, I don't really get fazed by those types of people. But when I see a chef that I love, I get butterflies in my stomach.
Sick.
When I was like in New York at 11 Madison Park and Daniel comes out around like the corner of the kitchen, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm seeing it. Like that for me, that is my headliner. And it's so cool that you think of it in that way. And like the first time I met David Chang and some of these people, I get that like giddy feeling inside. But just out of the people that you've brought in and worked with, who are some of your favorite chefs and collabs and partnerships that you did through the years?
I don't know. We've brought in so many great chefs and so much great talent. Some of my favorite partnerships. A few years ago, we did Off-White and Jon Vinny's. And that one always stands out because it was right before Virgil passed away. And he was so gracious with his time. And none of us knew that he was that sick.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And for him to be that generous with his time to work on that project with Jon and Vin, with us, put that product out, and not knowing, like none of us knowing how sick he was or what happened, and then him passing away, like literally like less than 2 months later. That one means that.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's all right. Thank you very much. That one meant a lot. Some other partnerships. God, you're putting me on the spot now. I gotta like really think about this. I mean, that's the first one that comes to mind.
That's a good looking
last year. We've done union with trophies the last 2 years, and that was that. I mean, I'm a big Union fan. I've been going there since forever, and it's widely respected as one of the best stores in the world. And they're just down the street. So to have them at the festival and working with Fairfax local like Geo and trophies, I think was really special. So yeah, we've had a lot.
Love it. Well, we just had a lot of food hit the table. Let's talk a little bit about what we're eating today.
Okay, so Ben got a BLT.
I got a BLT and onion rings because if I ever see onion rings on a menu, I order them.
Is that your favorite? You prefer an onion ring to a French fry?
Absolutely. Always.
Where's the best onion rings in LA?
Carl's Jr.
For real? For real?
Carl's Jr.
I mean, look, I haven't had them since I was a kid, but it's the reason why I eat onion rings is because
that's awesome.
I grew up eating onion rings at Carl's Jr. and I love them and I still dream about them.
That's
and
hilarious.
I almost don't want to have them because I know there's no way they're going to be as good.
Don't ruin it. It's not going to be the same.
Wow.
No offense, Carl's Jr. We love you.
Clark Street Diner has really good onion rings.
I
like them there.
Their breakfast plate there. Have you had that? Just like their like almost like Grand Slam diner breakfast. It's so good.
The first thing that popped in my head was that little tower at Baltaire in Brentwood. They have like that little onion ring stack. Those are some crazy onion rings.
I think Ben is part of this community in LA. There's like a small group of these guys that when they walk into your restaurant,
I'm so scared of what you're going to say
on the
right
line because
is it really?
Yeah. If I'm opening a restaurant, I am terrified for you to come in. I want everything to be perfect for you. And your opinion means a lot to me. And it means a lot, I think, to a lot of people in LA. Because
come on, Ben isn't going to wreck your restaurant on Instagram like Max Shapiro or something.
But Max Shapiro is one of them too. Like
you something?
You guys hold a lot of the credibility of we trust your opinion.
Yeah, I used to be much more opinionated on places that I didn't like in the city, and I would be not an ass, but I'd just be like, "Don't eat here; it's not good."
Right.
And I would do it a lot. And I stopped probably about a year and a half ago.
I noticed.
Just because like, not that I felt bad, but I was like, something, I don't need to do that. I just was like, enough's enough. I've done it enough. And if I don't post them, like they just won't get any love. Like that's all there is to it. And it's funny because a lot of people would give me so much. They would love when I would trash a restaurant. They're like, that's what makes you different from everyone else, because everyone just tells you what everyone tells you what they like, but no one says what they don't like. And I agree, in my circles and in my chats that we all have, like my big food chats, like I'm very opinionated and I tell everyone how much I hate certain restaurants, but I don't do it publicly anymore. And as much as I want to, and I feel like sometimes I should, just to like, and I tell people this is my problem with something like LA Times, where their job is to review food. And I don't trust the reviewers because they don't tell me what they don't like. And I can't trust someone's opinion if you only tell me what you always like. Like in my opinion, you like everything, right? So if you're a food reviewer and you like everything, then how can I know what you think is what's really good and what's not? Because you're always telling me what's good, right?
Is there a world where like I'm sure we all know, but like they're just not reviewing the places that they don't like?
Yeah,
they're
probably.
omitting that?
Yeah, but probably it's your job though.
Right.
In my opinion, it's your job to say like,
this is not good.
Yeah.
Or this is.
These are the issues with this. Yes, exactly. I that's the job of a food reviewer, in my opinion. That's my problem with the Times and other places that review restaurants.
Would you ever start your own publication?
If there was money in it, I probably would, but I don't think there's enough money, and I don't think there's enough money in it.
By the way, I follow a ton of food accounts, especially like people who love posting shit in LA, and like you are one of my favorite follows. I feel like
for sure
we are aligned from
everybody
a palate
go
perspective.
Follow Ben Hundreds on Instagram right now. You will not regret it. He posts the most unbelievable food content of anyone I follow. Dude, you and Alex, both of you guys.
Thank you.
It's because of Alex's
I'm at
light.
the beginning of my journey, but I'm inspired by some of the stuff that you do. And
I just want. There's so much good food in this city, and there's so much bad food in this city, and I think that my friends and family and people that follow me are like, I want them to eat at good restaurants. Like, don't eat. There's no reason to eat bad food in this city.
Stop wasting time.
And and people eat at bad restaurants. Like, it's like I'm trying to teach them,
make smarter choices.
Yeah, just be better, basically.
So what do you say to people that argue that LA is not a great food city?
I think they're wrong.
100%.
And I don't think that they've eaten in the city enough.
Yeah.
Like, are we as great as Tokyo? Are we as great as Paris? Are we as great as New York? No, I'm not. We're not, but we are not far behind.
I think we are. I would say that we're better than New York. In my opinion.
We're not.
No way.
No.
It's a hot take, but
we're not. Look, I'm born and raised in this city. I love LA more than anything.
But
I will never leave here. But those three cities, New York, Paris, and Tokyo, I could eat 3 meals a day, every day for probably a year and not repeat and not have too many bad meals. Like, there is so much in New York. Like, in LA, you could probably get through LA, if you're really efficient in, I don't know, a month and get through like every restaurant that you really need to hit, 3 meals a day. Well, right?
Didn't Jonathan Gold spend an entire year eating just Pico Boulevard?
Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean it's all good.
For sure. It just shows
like a month, 2 months.
There's 35,000 restaurants in LA.
My list of restaurants to try in New York, like, it doesn't end, man. It doesn't end.
Have you been to Lord's, by the way?
No.
You gotta go to Lord's.
Really?
Oh my God. This is just a little side note of, this is one of the best burgers I've ever had.
Where is it?
Is in Lord's. I want to say it's downtown, but I'll get the exact location for you.
Okay.
It's kind of styled like an English pub. So they have like the Scotch egg. But this burger that I had, you guys, it was just raw onion, which I prefer raw onion on a burger always. Raw onion, thick patty, and then a beer cheese like sauce over it on a pretzel bun.
Wow.
That's it.
Lord's.
And it was Lord's. It was unbelievable. Highly recommend it. Okay, so
I have a huge running list of restaurants to try in New York.
Yeah, I mean, I go there. Like, look, this last trip, I was there a couple months ago, and I was there for 3 or 4 days, and I ate like 2, 3, 4 meals a day just because I was like, I need to hit all these places.
Sure,
I got to knock them all off my list. And I was doing a little bit of research for a project I'm working on. And like, I needed to try everything. And like,
are you a 2 dinner guy? Like two different dinner reservations?
I don't like doing it, but if
the research depends on it,
like if I have work to do or like we're just, I'm only in New York for a limited amount of time, like, yeah, we'll have 2 dinners.
Yeah. I have non-foodie friends who think it's totally insane to make like 2 dinner reservations, but like if I'm going to Thai Town in LA, I want to try 2 spots.
I mean, what's a better bang bang than Saffy's and Found Oyster?
We literally talked about that yesterday.
Is there a better, like, I don't think there's a better, like, what's better than that,
Nothing is better. Okay, what is your order at Saffy's? What are the things that people cannot miss?
I don't know. I mean, Ori's hummus is probably the best in the city, so I think that everyone should order that. I like his shawarma a lot. I'm trying to think of what I order. Oh, I mean, his kebabs are great. I like his lamb.
Crazy.
I like his lamb kebabs. I think that's like, when I tell people what to order there, that's like the must order are his lamb kebabs. And then he has like his green salad, like with the feta is I think one of the better salads in the city. And I tell people they got to order it.
I have not tried that salad.
Oh, it's great.
About a new dessert at a restaurant.
Oh, it's at Mother Wolf.
At Mother Wolf.
Yeah.
What is that again?
It was like a Nona cake with like pineapple and whipped cream, and it was nice. It also looked really pretty. I mean, the dessert at Mother Wolf, the dessert at Evan's restaurants are great. Shannon Swindle does the desserts at all of Evan's restaurants, and I think that actually that one that I posted was that was one of the first ones that was not Shannon's. They brought in a new pastry chef at Mother Wolf, and that was her first. First dessert, and they brought it out. It was great.
I was just gonna go back a second to Ori. You're the perfect person to ask this question to, but fuck, marry, kill, Bestia, Bavel, Saffy's.
Oh, it's very easy for me.
It's easy for me too.
Very easy for
Go
me.
ahead.
I'm going to marry Saffy's. I'm going to fuck Bavel, and I'm going to kill Bestia.
I think I was the same.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
No issues there.
No problem.
Good to know.
I didn't like Bestia for a really long time.
What changed? Did anything change?
I went there a handful of times over the years. It's been there a long time, and I hadn't been in probably 5 or 6 years. And enough people were like, "All right, man, you got to go back. You got to stop hating it." I'm like, not just Jordan. Jordan was one, but not just Jordan. A few people, and I was just like, I don't understand Bestia. Like, it's not great. I'm sorry. Like, and me, Jordan, Jamie, and another friend of ours, we went for dinner a couple months ago. And
this is a scary table to show up to your restaurant, guys.
Yeah.
This table shows up.
This is what I'm talking about.
Jamie
it's
is pretty.
The small group
Jamie
that,
is pretty lenient though. Jamie is not as.
Jamie's excited.
Yeah, Jamie he likes a lot. He's not going to be as critical as
Jordan,
and
Max Shapiro.
Yeah. Like we're going to dinner, the 3 of us tonight.
Are you?
Uh-huh. We're going to Dunsmoor. We're going to Dunsmoor tonight. We all know we love it, so that's not
the cornbread at Dunsmoor is like
I haven't been.
The whole.
Yeah.
What?
I've never been.
Come on.
No. Really? I need to go?
I put it as the 3rd best restaurant I ate at in LA last year.
What?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Oh my God. Where is it?
How about this? I had Morihiro as 1, Kato 2, and then Dunsmoor. And those 2 are like the nicest restaurants in this. 2 of the nicest restaurants in the city.
Where is
Glassell Park? Yeah, Glassell Park. You know where Capri Club is? Have you been there? Okay.
Former Hatchet Hall alum.
You have to go to Dunsmoor.
Okay, I will go. I will go this weekend.
It is unbelievable. It's really one of the best restaurants in the city.
Really?
Yeah, no question about it.
Oh my God, what kind of food?
It's Brian's take on like Southern food. It's like Southern American food. It is
insane.
Oh man.
Wow.
Everything. There are so many hits on this menu.
Really?
Yeah, you'll see it tonight. I'll post it tonight.
Yeah, please.
I posted it. It's on my feed. I wrote like a whole thing about it last year, just on how great I think the restaurant is. It's really one of the best restaurants. And if it was in the middle of the city, I think people would say it's like
number 1.
No, like it would be up there be talked about as like one of the best.
Wow.
I think that I still think it's one of the best. I just don't think it gets as much love because it's a little far. And it is really, really, really special restaurant.
What are your top restaurants right now?
Well, I was just going to say, is that your list, Morihiro?
No, that was just last year.
That was last year.
Because I made that list of like the 10 best places.
You put it in order.
I ate. Yeah. My top
I know
10.
we each put out our 100 restaurant list every year. It's not just LA though, right?
Mine is not just LA. Mine is top 99 places I ate at all of last year or whatever year. I've done it now for a few years.
Is it ranked in order?
No,
or is it
only
just alphabetical?
I just do the top 10.
Okay.
I do the top 10 in LA. My top 99 is just alphabetical order, but I do top 10 in LA. And what are my favorites right now? I mean, I always love Spacca. I was just talking about it before I came here. Like, there's so many great things on that menu.
The tomahawk pork chop with the fennel pollen.
That's nice.
That's one of my favorites.
You want to know what's even better?
What's even better?
And everyone thinks I'm crazy.
What?
It's the chicken dish.
My dad's obsessed with the chicken.
It's crazy. I tell people ask me all the time what to order there, and I'm like, order the chicken. They're like, come on, man, I'm not going to Spacca to order the chicken. And I'm like, okay, don't order it. I'm telling you, it's like probably the best chicken dish in all of LA. Like, I don't know what to say. It is. But yeah, I mean, lamb chops are good, short ribs are good, steaks are good. The salad there is good. Like the bread, focaccia de recco. That's a gut buster.
It's crazy.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's always one of my favorite places. There and Osteria Mozza. I don't like
the best.
Osteria Mozza when it opened was one of the best restaurants in the city, and then I think it had a little bit of a lull where I went there. This was probably 5-6 years ago. Where I went there, I used to live right behind there, so I would go there a lot, often enough to know when it's good and not. Mm-hmm. And there was a time where I just was like, this is not great. And I didn't like going there for a bit. And a couple years ago, I went in again and it just, it was back. And it is back like it's never been, man.
What's your go-to there? I love the octopus. It's like
octopus is great there. The food. I just went a couple weeks ago and they sent out a new dish. They're working on a pork chop there. Woo. And I'm not a pork chop guy. Like I didn't grow up eating that, so like I don't love it. Yeah. But this one, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. What did little Ben grow up eating besides Carl's Jr.?
I don't know. We grew up eating Persian food. Like I grew up in the valley, so it's like we ate at Red Dragon or something. Like the Chinese spot down the street, and we grew up eating a lot of Persian food. And
I grew up eating a ton of Persian food as well. And I'm not Persian, but like
in college, all my friends were Persian. I dated a guy that was Persian, so like. Tachin, tadik, like all those foods every Friday.
Where else did we? I mean, I grew up eating Baja Fresh and In-N-Out because it was down the street from the house and right next to my high school.
Yeah.
This is like a super hot take, but I still love the nacho burrito from Baja Fresh. It's like it's terrible Mexican food, but
wild.
I can't even tell you the last. Where is a Baja Fresh? Is there even a Baja Fresh around?
A few left, but it's not good. It's just nostalgic, and I can't explain it.
Yeah,
it's like your onion rings.
Where else did we grow up eating mixed subs? So that's like a Valley local legend spot. I don't even know if it's there anymore, but that's where I used to get my chicken parm sandwiches. I used to eat Jerry's Deli.
Ooh.
Are they even still around? I don't even know.
Jerry's Deli
I haven't eaten at one in 20 years.
Was the worst deli in LA, in my opinion.
Really?
And, like, do
you say that as like a Canter? Or
I do a little bit. Like we would, as a kid, I would be like in my grandpa's car. We would like drive past the Jerry's Deli and he would like send Yiddish curses to the to the restaurant. It was just like a thing that I did growing up. So like the first time that one of my friends and their parents took me to Jerry's Deli, I walked in and I started crying because I thought it was like bad for me to be in there.
Oh,
and it was this whole thing. But all the Jerry's have closed since then. I used to actually like sometimes go to the bowling alley one.
Yeah.
Remember the bowling alley?
Yeah. Studio City.
Absolutely.
Jerry's is over though. And there's,
I grew up eating at Label's Table. We grew up going to Cheesecake Factory and Olive Garden, places like that.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about your Hulu show.
Yeah, we can do that. I wish I wish I would give me a second season.
It was
no, they're not giving me. It's not that they're not, and it's not. It was a Tastemade show, and then it did so well on Tastemade they upstreamed it to Disney Plus and Hulu.
Yeah,
and the show did really well, but I learned very quickly after that they approved a second season, and then Tastemade approved a second season, and then they came back and were like after we set a plan up and had everything going, and we're like, sorry, we can't do it. We're like, what do you mean what? And they're like, you can have the show back and go pitch it somewhere else. Sorry, we can't do it. We're like,
wait,
okay.
Tastemade said that or Hulu said that?
No, Tastemade said that. And so then we went to everyone, and look, we all know everyone in Hollywood. Yeah. Jamie's one of my closest friends. The guy has everyone's, like, he's friends with everyone in the city. And everyone said the same thing. They're not doing travel. No one's doing travel shows. No one is doing single hosted food shows anymore. And if you're doing a food show, it's in studio competition.
Yeah.
Unless you're Phil Rosenthal, you know. But like they kept saying, they're like, look at Stanley Tucci show got canceled. There was another one in Mexico that was it Eva Mendes that was doing it, or God, there was someone else that was doing another travel show like that, like celebrity big one that got canceled as well. I'm like,
wasn't Padma doing one like
Eat Through America? I don't even know if she's doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Did you
it's hard.
Did you ever get into like Chef's Table or Taco Chronicles or any of the like other food shows?
I watched the first season of what was the first one you just said? Chef's Table.
Chef's Table.
I watched the first season of that, and I've watched a few episodes of the ones after, and they're great shows. Taco Chronicles, I watch a few of them. I don't love food shows. Not my favorite, which is weird that I did one because I don't. It's kind of the same reason maybe why I did my food festival. It's like I didn't like the other food festival, so I'm just going to start my own. Like, I don't like food shows, so I'm just going to do my own.
But I think that's a really good lesson for people of like, you have to be doing things and making things that are for you, that bring you joy to do it, but also what you want to be watching, what you want to be listening to, what you want to attend.
Yeah.
And I feel like if more people do that for themselves and not try to like hit the marks of, you know, what networks want.
I think there's like a Rick Rubin quote from his book that was like, the audience comes last. And like, I love when you were talking about your festival, how you were like, I built this for me. Like that is a philosophy that I like resonates super hard.
We built that festival for like, we built it for me and Bobby and like our immediate community first. Like what we're building, what we want, like what we would think is a great time at a food festival.
Right.
And bringing our community into that and showing them like, this is where you should be eating. This is the music you should be listening to. These are the brands you should be working with.
Right.
You know.
How did you and Bobby meet?
We went to law school together.
Really?
Yeah. We met we were in the same section the first year of law school. And there aren't too many kids that dress like us or
in law school.
We're into like cool things, right? So we hit it off right away.
Did you guys go eat together, like on your lunch breaks?
Yeah, we used to, I mean, we hung out. Look, we've been friends now. It's almost 22 years, more than 22 years. We met in the fall of 2002. So yeah, almost 23 years, Bobby and I have been friends. We joke that we're more married than you know, like that's how close we are. Like we've eaten more meals together than we have with partners. And so, yeah, we eat a lot together and have eaten a lot together.
Well, I remember when the 100 store first opened down the street on Fairfax on Rosewood. And it was right sort of at the beginning of like Fairfax emerging as this like streetwear hub and culture of LA. Not just LA, of the world, really. Fairfax was like the street when it was like Dope and Pink Diamond and, you know, you guys coming in and Supreme and even like the early days of like Odd Future Store and that era and version of Fairfax is like sort of moving away. Supreme just left and
the street is back to where it was when we first moved here. We moved here in November 2005. And crazy. The only things that were here, Supreme was open, Turntable Lab I don't even think Turntable Lab was open yet. I think Reserve was open. It was just Reserve, which was like basically Rick Klotz from Fresh Jive. It was his shop and Supreme, and that's it. And then Turntable Lab opened. Then Sal opened up SLB. Hall of Fame opened.
I remember the day that Hall of Fame opened.
Do you really?
Yeah, just like it. I mean, this block, like obviously I was here growing up, working here all the time. So like I would always walk up and down the block trading Rugula for streetwear. Like that was a thing.
Fuck, if I would have known, I would have traded you Rugula for streetwear.
We could still do it.
Yeah.
Have some Rugula. It was, I don't know. It's just, it's crazy how prior to that, this was really like this Jewish hub in LA for so long. And like, it used to be, you know, like a lot of Jewish people walking up and down the street, and then slowly skateboarders started like flying by them.
My favorite restaurant on the street was this kosher restaurant, right up past our shop on Rosewood. It was called Shula and Esther. Do you remember that?
I grew up with Shula and Esther.
Yo, we used to eat Shula and Esther. It was our cafeteria before our store was open for years. Me, Bobby, the team,
funny.
we would go in there and she would just make whatever the fuck she wanted for us and just bring it out.
I love that.
It was so good.
Do you remember Ida Pita falafel down there, and then Damiano's Mr. Pizza?
Yeah.
That was the pizza I grew up on.
Domino's was fucking disgusting.
It was. This place was like literally the darkest, scariest hole in the wall pizza shop. But
Only
like,
okay at 2:00 in the morning after a really wasted night. Oh, that's the only time it was acceptable to eat there. They ran a crazy poker room out of the back there.
That's doesn't surprise me at all.
Years. Oh yeah, that place was
Wow.
a dark place, man. Shit was fucked up in there. It was disgusting. It was so bad. Ida Pita was. We used to do Ida Pita all the time, and we were there for about a year and a half before we opened up the store. And a week before we opened up our store, they closed that lot. And it was a vacant lot across the street from our store on Rosewood for 10 years. It's crazy. Like we had nothing there for 10 years. That could have, if it was Dave's Hot Chicken when we were in our prime, I can only imagine how much busier or better the neighborhood would. Yeah. But it was just a boxed up corner for so long. Yeah.
Well,
Question.
we have this final segment for you, rapid fire questions,
Cool.
and we're
Can we hit them?
gonna grill you.
Cool.
Are you ready?
I hope so.
You get to bring one restaurant, international or domestic, to LA. What do you choose?
Oh, you're saying from outside
Anywhere.
of LA.
You get to bring any
Anywhere
restaurant to
in
LA.
the country, the world, wherever you want. It comes to
Okay,
LA.
if I'm going to pick two, so I'm going to pick
Pick
one
two.
I'm going to pick one from out of the country. I would bring Yardbird here from Hong Kong. Matt and Lindsay
I
are
love them.
they're old friends, great friends.
You know that.
I love them.
Oh, me
they're
too.
my family.
Oh my God.
And that restaurant for many, many, many years, I would tell people all the time, my favorite place to eat at in the world. When Bobby and I would go to Hong Kong, we would spend nights there. We would spend whole nights there. We would have so much fun. And I always have. I haven't been there since the pandemic. I haven't been back to Hong Kong since the pandemic. So I miss it. And if I could bring Yardbird Hong Kong here, I would do that.
Wow.
And as far as restaurants, outside of LA, maybe from the country, I would love to see a restaurant like Fort Charles here,
Yeah.
from New York. I think
The burger,
LA's,
the
yeah.
bacon.
I think that LA's missing a great restaurant like that. And that's one of my favorite places to eat. I love the room. I love the food. I love the service. Everything they do there is great. That was one of my bang bang nights. We had a
What was
massive,
the other bang?
we had dinner at, first of all, I got there that day. I got to New York that day, went to Red Hook Tavern for a massive dinner, lunch. Then we went to Roscioli for dinner. And then after Roscioli, we went and met Jen, who owns Rafts.
Yep.
She wanted to have dinner and it was late. And we were like, all right, cool, we'll come have a drink. And the next thing you know, there's a burger on the table. There's this, that, and the other. We end with a sundae. And yeah, that was my bang bang the first night. My first day in New York this past trip was Red Hook Tavern, Roscioli, and Fort Charles prime rib.
Wow,
It's heavy.
that's nice.
Super heavy. I love
Yeah.
it
I
though.
want that.
All right. Very important question here. It's Saturday morning. You're a little hungover. What's your go-to spot for breakfast?
Jon Vinny's.
What
Get
are you
the-
getting? I've run into you at Jon Vinny's for breakfast.
I mean, I think that's my favorite breakfast in
Yeah.
town.
Same.
You like the breakfast pizza? Like
It's good. It's not what I
like the
order.
breakfast pizza.
I usually order okay, if I'm hungover, I guess if I'm hungover, I'm ordering their breakfast sandwich. And they don't do this for everyone, but they'll do it for me. I asked them to put burrata in it.
Oh, sounds so
Pro
good.
move. I like
Oh
it.
my god.
it's a-
What's your go-to Jon and Vinny's? Which location are we talking about?
Right here.
Yeah.
Fairfax,
This is
of course.
home for me.
Yeah.
This is
All
our
right, yeah.
shtetl.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also the
but-
best one. I'm just gonna say. I
Yeah,
think
it
it's-
is.
I think
Yeah,
it's
for
the best
sure.
one.
It is. But my normal breakfast order over there is their soft scrambled egg plate and side of bacon.
The one with burrata on top.
Yes.
Stunning. Okay. You have visitors in town.
Mm-hmm.
You get to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with them.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you taking them for each thing?
Which is
one
one
day.
day.
It's
one
one
day. We're probably going to Courage for breakfast.
Right.
I think that everybody should have that because I think it's the best bagel in the world.
For sure.
I
And
completely agree. By the way,
Yeah.
even though a lot of people say it's not a bagel or whatever,
I don't-
whatever, it's fucking
Fully a
amazing.
bagel.
Guess what? It's a fucking bagel. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Sorry. You don't think it's a bagel? That's your problem, not mine. It's a bagel, and
It's a bagel.
and it's great. Possibly the best you'll ever have. You
For
know?
sure.
Easily.
Okay, so breakfast is courage.
Shoot. What are we having for lunch? For lunch, I'm probably going to Sushi Gen.
Yeah.
Just because that's like probably my favorite place to have lunch. And I've been eating lunch there. Bobby and I have been eating lunch there for 15, 20 years.
Love that.
And it's one of my favorite, but just it's easy. I love sitting at the bar with Chef Kaz. I go there with all kinds of friends. And the fashion industry loves it there. The downtown Persians love it. Everybody loves Sushi
Yeah.
Gen. So that's probably my lunch. And then if I had to have one dinner,
Yeah.
that's
one
so
dinner.
scary.
I know.
Damn. For many years, wow. I don't know.
I love that we've stumped Ben Hundreds.
I'm probably, for me personally, I'm probably going to go to Funke. I'm going to make sure that Evan's there because he's half the reason why I want to go. So if Evan's in Beverly Hills and he's at Funke, I'm going to take my friends or whoever I'm hosting to Funke to eat Evan's food. Not only is he one of my closest friends, but also I think his food is some of the best in the city. For many, many years, I would have said Felix.
Mhm.
And I'll still tell everyone to go to Felix because I hadn't been there in a couple years, and it was
so good.
It was always my top three restaurants. My top three restaurants haven't really changed for a long time. It's always Bavel, Spacca, and Felix, but I hadn't been to Felix in a couple of years, and Bobby and I went last Saturday, and again, that's something I just put up on my Instagram. I was floored by how good Felix was.
Wow.
It's like I forgot, and I saw him last night. And I've told him since, I'm like, this is still probably your best restaurant. It's so good, man.
Do you think he feels that way too?
He knows that it's great. And one of his, Vicky's in the kitchen there, and Vicky is a fucking killer. She's so good. She runs that kitchen perfectly, and she's been cooking his food for so long. She knows exactly how to run it. Yeah, I had a dinner there that if it wasn't 45 minutes from my house, I saw Vicky last night too, and she's like, I'll see you in 2026, and you're never going to come back to Felix. If it wasn't 45 minutes from my house, I would probably be there a lot more. But
I like to go right when they open. I sit at the bar by myself. I get a little focaccia, a little cacio e pepe.
It's so good.
perfect. Yeah.
Everything we ate was just hit the best version. He has squash blossoms on every menu. The ones at Felix, the ones I had that night were the best ones I've ever had from him. It's like the best version of everything he does was there that night. So
What's your number one pet peeve at a restaurant, for a dining experience?
Good question. My number one pet peeve is when they'll clear a plate that someone's still eating off of.
Or a drink too.
Yeah,
It's
or a
like,
drink.
If
Like,
there's sauce and there's bread on the table,
just like
and they take it,
yeah.
and it's like I would
like
have zobbled
don't
that
even
up.
ask.
Yeah.
Or they don't even ask, you know?
Yeah.
Like that I'm like, wait a second. I'm not, hold on. Why are you doing that? You
Yeah.
know? I ask. Like I really don't like that.
I have one last rapid fire question for you.
Sure.
We'll wrap this thing up. Thank you so much. It's been so fun.
Yeah.
You're opening a new restaurant in LA. What is the dish you want to be famous for?
If I was to open a restaurant in LA, the dish that we'd like to be famous for, it'd probably be a hamburger. I'd like to be known for like a nice, great hamburger.
Are you more of a smash burger guy or a
if
steakhouse
If
burger?
I never eat a smash burger again,
You'd be okay.
I'll be totally fine. And look, like they were great 5 years ago, and they're still good now.
LA's having such a smash burger moment right now.
You want to know something?
was,
I
but
think we're past it.
I think we're past it,
I don't
too.
like. This was my issue a few years
think
ago.
now
Everyone a few years ago was like so excited, like for the win, the window, love, like, and I'm like, all these places that came after Burgers Never Say Die, came after Love Hour, came after Goldburger. Like, in my opinion, they all copied like a few, like Burgers Never Say Die, and just were like the local spot, you know, and they're all good. Like, really, all these smash burgers are really good. My problem with it now is they all taste the same. There's really no Love Hour is the only one that tastes a little different because they use a different sauce and pickles.
Same with
but like
Goldburger, that it's like a different sauce.
yeah, but Goldburger I like because you could get different burgers at Goldburger. It's not just the one burger. I don't like. I'm tired of it. I don't need to eat. I don't need to eat those anymore. I'm like,
not a smash burger spot.
you know,
I'm
like
so
it's-
excited for you to try Lord's, though.
Yeah.
Next time you go to New York,
Yeah, I
please
will.
go and try
I mean,
it.
as soon as I went to Chicago and New York, and it was to try a lot of burgers, and
Did you do Loyalist in Chicago?
Yeah, have you been? What
So
a
good.
fucking restaurant!
That's
man.
one of my favorite burgers I've ever had.
Yo, this place. I was first of all. I ordered. I'm telling everyone that'll listen to me about the Loyalist. I had a chicken liver pate eclair that was to die for. Then they brought out their version of deviled eggs, which was eggs with like a Russian dressing and caviar on top, which also great. And I will tell everyone to order it. And then they brought out this burger that absolutely had me on the floor. They have
So good.
gastrique onions, raw onions, pickled onions, onion mayo,
With
pickles,
sauce, like-
their seeded bun. Dude, I was not okay.
I used to only do au cheval or small cheval when I was in Chicago, and then I discovered that burger, and it's gonna be
I
hard
was
to go
not
back.
that thing. It was, and then and so then I asked for the bill, and as I asked for the bill, the menu was still staring at me, and I was like, "Oh, chocolate chip cookie." I was like, "Hold on, hold my bill, bring me a chocolate chip cookie." The chocolate chip cookie might have been the best thing I ate.
What?
It's crazy. This thing was crazy.
Wait, describe the cookie.
Hurt. I don't know, fucking warm chocolate chip cookie came out on a fucking plate with
Crispy,
crispy on the outside, gooey on the
Medium rare on the
inside.
inside.
Yeah.
Salt on
toffee.
top.
Yeah. Salt, toffee in the middle,
Mm.
chocolate chips. It was, oh man.
Damn.
It was really good. One of the better things I ate in Chicago that
Do
trip.
you like the chocolate chip cookie at Salty Girl? Everybody talks about it.
I haven't eaten there and I
Oh.
probably never will.
Ooh.
For a reason? A
No,
specific
why do I
reason?
need to eat there? Do I need to eat there? I'm asking you. How about that?
I don't know.
Yeah. See? It's okay.
You can. But yeah, I don't know.
I'm not going to waste a meal at Salty Girl.
Ooh.
Like menu doesn't excite me. Look, if people
It's a big menu.
I trusted,
Do you like tin fish though?
yeah, sure. I'm not like I'll eat it all. But if a menu doesn't interest me and I'm not going to rush to go there until I have friends that are like, "Oh yeah, Ben, you should go. You know,
Got it.
you should try it."
So-
right?
Word of mouth is a super powerful thing in this industry.
Yeah, totally
But
is.
your word of mouth means a
Means
lot
even
to
more.
a lot of people. So we need to know. Next time you go to a new restaurant,
I try. I really
We'll
try to
find
tell.
out.
Look, the new one right
Do a
now
good job of-
that we like is I like Budonoki. Have you guys been there?
no.
Oh,
On
you
the
should
east
go to
side,
you should go to
Skewers,
Budonoki. It's good.
Japanese.
Yeah. It's a great place to
Kinda
eat,
like
drink.
Like sake and skewers.
Do
right?
I think you're gonna get like the best meal you're gonna have? No. Like, is it like a top 10 restaurant in LA? No. But you're gonna have a great time. You're gonna have really good food, good sake. It's nice there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, Ben, so much fun.
Ben,
Thank you.
we love you.
Love you
Thank
guys
you
too.
so much for coming.
Yeah.
We're so happy. All right, everybody. That was Hot Pastrami. Thanks. Listen, I love Ben so much. I still think that LA is the best food city in the country.
I
I'm
agree,
going to
Lily.
hold strong with that. You agree?
New York is awesome too, don't get me wrong. And Tokyo is pretty out of control, but we live in a very special place here.
We absolutely do. I'm so glad he came because he gave us an itinerary of where we should be going in LA. But then also for all the people that are not in LA, if you're coming, planning a visit, hit all those spots. If you go to any of the restaurants that we talked about on this episode, please let us know. We want to hear from you. We want to know if you liked it, if you didn't like it. We want this to be seen as a little bit of a guide for you. You can also follow Ben on Instagram at Ben100s. You can follow us on Instagram at Hot Pastrami Pod.
It's true. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, give us 5 stars.
All the things.
All the things that make these podcast things work.
Absolutely.
I'm learning. I'm still learning.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.